Aloha, welcome. I'm Nadia. I'm a personal chef, wife, and mama living on the beautiful island of Kaua'i. I'm so excited to share some of our favorite recipes. They're inspired by island living and everyday home cooking. Let's go make something delicious. Today, we are making mango salsa. I'm going to take you along with my cookbook to show you some of the tips and tricks to get a really delicious crowd favorite mango salsa. So let's get started. Okay, so to get started, we're going to juice some limes. One of the tips I like to use for juicing lime is to make sure that you roll and put pressure while you're rolling the lime to get the most juice that you can out of them. You're going to use your citrus juicer. If you don't have one of these, you can go ahead and just stick a fork through the lime and twist it and collect the lime juice that way. I'll go ahead and link this citrus juicer because it's such a good one to put over any mason jar that you might have lying around, and it just looks cute. Okay, so next we're going to use our cutting board to chop up some red onion. Now, one of the tips I like to use with this recipe is to make sure to have a bowl sitting off to the side, and you can toss all of your trash there. Trust me, it really, really helps. Next, we're going to make these slivers down the side of the red onion, and then we're going to twist the onion over and start chopping it this way. You can go ahead and dice or chop your red onion whatever way you're most comfortable with, but one of the things you want to do with this recipe is make sure that you have teeny tiny pieces. This really adds to the flavor. So you're going to go through your onion and make sure that those are all consistently sized. Next, you're going to toss those into a large mixing bowl. Trust me, you're going to want to use a large mixing bowl because it always helps to be able to have the space to actually incorporate everything. Once that's done, we're going to switch over to tomatoes. So a little thing about tomatoes is it doesn't matter necessarily what your tomato's doing. It's usually what your knife is doing, in the sense where if you have a dull knife, this is going to be so much harder. So if you can sharpen your knives, make sure that it is nice and sharp for dicing. It's always helped me to be able to do it this way. Now you can go ahead and chop these up again. I'm going to go through it one or two more times to make sure they're just as small as the onions or around the similar size. Okay, so for your jalapeno, one of the things I like to look for, especially when cooking for my clients, are to see if the jalapeno has any white streaks or lines on it. Typically, or at least what we've been told in our family, is that if they have the white streaks in them, they're usually spicier. Now, take it or leave it, it's just been some advice that I've had. So if I have a crowd that I'm cooking for, clients that have requested something not too spicy, I'll go ahead and look for that. One of the things also with these jalapenos is you want to make these dice pieces even smaller. Tiny, tiny, tiny pieces. This really helps with the overall flavor. You don't ever really want to bite into a big chunk of jalapeno with a mango salsa. At least I don't. So once you're done with that, you're going to use your cilantro. Again, once I've chopped this, I'm just easily setting it off to the side. I don't have to go back and forth to the trash can. That saves me time, energy, and it just helps keep a clean space. So another thing with cilantro is you want to keep the stems on. Please, please, please keep the stems on. There's lots of flavor. Don't just use the leaves for this. It really helps with the texture and flavor of this specific recipe. All right, once that's off into the bowl, you are ready for mixing, my friend. So you're gonna take this over and start incorporating your lime juice and your salt. If there's a specific salt that you like, you can use that. I'm using Himalayan salt for this one, but again, you're using a large bowl to be able to mix everything in, and it'll really help, especially once we incorporate the mango chunks. Okay, again, the bowls on the side coming in handy to just kind of clean my space. I'm going to incorporate some more lime juice after this, but I always start to mix this with just a little bit, and then you can always add more later. One of the tips with this is letting this pico de gallo mixture sit and get to know each other off to the side, 15, 20, 25 minutes even if you'd like. That always helps to incorporate some flavor. All right, we're going to go off to our mangoes. Now, one of the ways that I like to chop or dice these, as I'm showing you here, is taking a second to look for the very heart or the seed of the mango and slicing right along that. Take your time with this. I'm going to show you again, right down the middle as close as I can. Now you're going to do this on both sides, and then ever the economical and budget queen, we're going to go ahead and get a little bit more out of this very expensive mango. We're going to slice it off, just a little diagonal piece, whatever we can save, because we don't waste here. Next, you're going to take a spoon, and you're going to grab that spoon and have it hug the mango part and separate it from the skin. Just keep turning and twisting. Turn and twist until it completely detaches. You're going to go ahead and do that to the other slice that you've just made. Again, just turning and it should come off. You're going to do the same thing to the other little pieces that we saved. Every bite counts, you guys. Along the lines with these mango slices we're going to make, we're keeping in mind that every time someone dips a tortilla chip, a taro chip, whatever you decide to use for this, you don't want these massive chunks of mango to overtake the texture and flavor of the whole salsa. So even though these, little taste tests, yep, it's delicious. Make sure you taste it before you toss it in too. Your mango could be a little off, you don't know, so make sure to taste it. So we're gonna go through and dice them up even smaller so that every bite is perfect and delicious. If you don't have time for everything to sit off to the side, you can always add in a little bit of bouillon powder. I always find that that adds a little extra flavor. But again, I hope you've enjoyed this, and go ahead and follow along with our cookbook online, TikTok, Instagram, and we'll keep trying to make some recipes for you. I hope you enjoy. Aloha!